bag. She says then leave. What's up guys, it's your girl CL, and yes, I am back with yet another story time for you beautiful bad girls.
Fucking black Barbie, pretty face, perfect body, pink seats in a bar.
I know y'all like, where have you been? Y'all, high school has been kicking my butt, and I don't know about y'all, but I am not trying to stay in high school an extra semester, quarter, week. When I'm done, I'm done, okay? But y'all, this story time is a tad bit serious. Before I even start the story time, this is in no way, shape, or form to bash her at all. Like, keep on doing you, queen. You get what I'm saying? Nothing but peace and prosperity to you. But I'm telling a story as if I just went through it. You get what I'm saying? Like, I'm kind of like reliving this moment that I honestly like don't even want to relive. But I'm gonna, for y'all, for all the bad boys and bad girls, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. You get what I'm saying? Why not? This is my channel. Well, me and Dre's channel, so why not? Okay, so the story time, as you read the title, the story time about how I got kicked. I'm doing this, but kick is this. Hold on. Have you liked, commented, and subscribed yet? Hold up, please. So, I'm gonna call this girl Stasia. So me and Stasia have been friends ever since the 2nd grade. Like, I'm talking about before we knew what skipping was, we were skipping in the hallways, talking. I'm talking about sleepovers at my house, at her house, every other weekend. Like, we were just like this. You get what I'm saying? We were really close. We were really like, we had a really good bond. Okay. And so with that, you know, attachment, like I was attached to her, she was attached to me. Like, we were always hand in hand, like we were just two peas in a pod. You get what I'm saying? And so fast forward a couple years from now, it's middle school. I'm like, you know, at this rate, you're not even my best friend now. You're my family, like your family, you're my sister. Like, we're sisters, we're locked in or whatever. So sisters, you know, bond forever, friends forever. So we thought. But if you had told me like, yeah, by the time you and homegirl get to middle school, that little sister thing ain't gonna be a thing, I'd be like, you a lie. This girl, like, what? She's my ride or die. Like, don't come out your mouth like, don't do that. Like, this is my best friend. Are you dumb? Like, get out my face. I would have been like, you're lying. But that's exactly what happened. So as we get older, you know what I'm saying, people change, people tap into their own personality, which was fine. I was like, you know what, I want you to tap into your own personality. I want you to tap into who you are as a person. I want you to make new friends. Don't get me wrong, like, but just remember that I'm still your best friend. I need attention too, and just keep me in the loop. You get what I'm saying? So what she did, not a good job at, but she still did. So I was like, you know, I'm gonna give you some credit because you still let me know, like, okay, this is when I'm having this. I want you to come over here, and you know, I was still in the loop, but then again, like, it wasn't like she wasn't giving me 110% like I was giving her 110%, if you get what I'm saying. Stasia starts making new friends, which is fine. Like, I'm like, go ahead, Fendi, like, I'm all for it. Go ahead, find new friends. Because we're now, at this point, we're in middle school, and it's about 5.5 years we've been friends. So I'm like, you know what, it's okay. Like, it's always been just us, but because we're getting older, it's fine. So her type of friends, I wasn't too fond of. Like, I wasn't like, we weren't the best of friends. I was like, you know what, I was respectful. I was like, hey, Tom and Jerry. Yeah, I'm gonna call them Tom and Jerry. I was like, you know, hey, Tom and Jerry, hey, Sarah and John. Like, her other friends I was cool with, but like, we weren't the best of friends. Like, it was just like, oh, I'm tolerating you because my best friend messes with you, so I'm gonna be respectful, you know what I'm saying, and just like, you know, vibe. I was still kind of like, my best friend, I'm attached, you can have her, no. But Jerry and Stasia live in the same neighborhood, so like, they're always hanging out, always together. I'm like, you know, that's cool. Second week of middle school, I already had a good friend too, and that was Andrea. Me and Andrea were vibing so well. I was like, you know what, the person I was becoming, like, our personalities just clicked. You get what I'm saying? Like, I was more comfortable around her. I was more comfortable being myself around her because the way Stasia was moving and changing, it was like, we became so like unrelatable. Like, we just didn't relate anymore. You get what I'm saying? Like, everything just seemed so forced. But because I had attachment issues, I'm like, you know what, I can't just leave her out in the dust. Like, we done played in 5.5 years. I can't just leave now. I should have been like, listen, girl, I don't know what it is, but we're just not vibing anymore. Like, if we do split in this friendship, it's okay. But I was like, communication just wasn't there. It wasn't really present in our friendship or whatever. And that's kind of the reason why we're not friends to this day. So basically, as time progresses, I'm like, okay, you know what? She has her own little crew of friends that she likes to hang out with. And I have my own little one friend right here. And I had another friend, Morgan. Shout out to you, girl. And we were just pretty, like, it was me, Morgan, Andrea, and like, I would see Stasia from time to time. Stasia started to kind of move different. I'm not too fond of this new Stasia because, like, she wasn't a bad person. Like, she wasn't out here being wild and nothing. Like, she wasn't doing that. It's just that, like, what she found interesting, I found kind of like, oh, that's cool. And then what I found interesting, it was kind of like, girl, that's lame. You get what I'm saying? We were becoming two different people, and like, people be like opposite attract, but in this case it didn't. Like, we were just drifting, like, we weren't even connecting. Like, it was just drifting or whatever. Okay, so fast forward, it's 7th grade. I believe this was it was 7th grade year or whatever, and we're just chilling. Things are going pretty good, but me and Andrea, like, I'm talking about, like, my full on attention is with her. Like, me and Sazia from time to time, hey girl, let's hang out, yeah, ha 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 ha. We're still forcing stuff, we're still forcing shit, unfortunately. Like, we're still forcing it, and I'm just like, the whole time I'm like, dang, I really wish I was at Andrea's house. I really wish I was with Andrea right now. But you know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna say it in front of her, like, it's kind of rude, but I'm like, you know what, I'm gonna put up with her because it's not, this is my good friend, you get what I'm saying? We put in so many years. I'm gonna really like chill out and just vibe with her. Okay, so as time progresses, I feel as though like Stasia was like, you know, she's growing a better bond with Andrea. Like, I'm gonna just step back, and I kind of sensed that, but I wasn't really tripping because it was kind of like it was like everything was forced. So it was kind of like, I'm not really gonna tell you to try to, you know, put in more effort because I don't really want the effort, like, because our friendship is like really crumbling, you get what I'm saying? Like, it was coming to the point where I didn't have time nor the care in the world to really try to build it back up. I was like, you know what, this is too much, whatever. So fast forward 7th grade year, we're still pretty good friends. She's still friends with Tom and Jerry or whatever. And keep in mind, Tom and Jerry live in her neighborhood. This is very key. Tom and Jerry live in her neighborhood. So she's like, oh, I'm having some sleepover. I want you to come. It's gonna be me, you, Tom, and Jerry. I'm like, okay, you know, I'll come. You know, Andrea's like out with her family this weekend. I'm just gonna come and hang out with y'all, see what y'all got going on. Like, it's Friday night, and keep in mind, I do not live in Sasia's neighborhood. I live like 15 minutes from her house or whatever. So for some reason, I pack the entire house with me when I go places. I don't know why I do that, but I was staying there for 2 days. So I packed I'm talking about 18 million bags. For what? Mom was like, what is this? Like, you're staying for 2 days. I was like, Mom, please. Because one thing about us, if like we said, okay, we're going to one event, but that event turned 2 events, and like, you know, like we were always somewhere else. Friday night, I remember like Friday night was really good. Like, we were vibing. We actually, like, that was the first time in a while I was like, you know what, wow, like, we're all vibing, we're all having a good time. It's not forced, like, laughs are genuine, like, we're just honestly having a good time. And so boom, we all having a good time. We at her house, whatever. And keep in mind, Stasia had other friends besides Tom and Jerry. Like, she was making new friends or whatever. And like I said before, I wasn't really into the stuff they were into. You get what I'm saying? I was kind of like tapping into my own type of vibe, and my vibe wasn't their vibe. If you get what I'm saying? Some of y'all will understand, some of y'all won't understand, but y'all get it. Saturday comes around, boom, 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 boom. We having a good time. Yeah, yeah, we're good, we're lit. And she's like, okay, y'all, we're gonna go to Adventure Landing tonight. And I'm like, girl, like, to meet who? Because my thing is, I knew she was gonna say, yeah, we're gonna meet up with somebody else or somebody else. And I'm like, so fond of meeting new people, like, especially when we already have the plan established, like, oh yeah, it's okay if John and Saul tag along. Like, no, it's just supposed to be us. Like, why are we meeting more? Like, and my thing is, it was gonna be more upon more people. And the thing about it is, she was already pretty close to Tom and Jerry, so she was gonna be with Tom and Jerry. I'm gonna be here, not knowing anybody, looking lost, looking stuck. I was like, girl, no, like, what are you doing? Like, why are we meeting up? Who are they again? And she was like, what's the attitude for? I'm like, I don't have an attitude. I'm just kind of concerned. Like, I'm just kind of like, I don't really want to meet with new people. Like, we can just go to Adventure Landing, just be us 4, right? Whatever, I can't do math. Us 4. And she's just like, girl, what? Like, no, whatever. I'm like, okay, fine, whatever. So I think I go back in the room and I'm laying down or whatever, because my head, at this rate, I'm upset because and so at this point, I'm laying down, I'm asleep, and my head starts banging. Like, I'm like, what is going on? My thing is, I don't get headaches. That's a God thing. I don't get headaches at all. So I'm like, why is my head banging right now? And I'm like, y'all, my head hurts so freaking bad. But I wasn't even like dragging it. Like, my head hurts so bad. Like, I gotta go home. Oh my God. I wasn't even doing that. I was like, dang, my head hurts so bad. Like, what is going on? And I guess she took it as like me being annoying and me being rude. Like, okay, if you want to leave, just leave, and like, stop making excuses. Like, if you want to leave, just leave. But my thing is, like, my head was genuinely hurting. Like, I wasn't trying to be funny. Like, my head was really hurting. I'm like, dang, my head is hurting so bad. But like, when are we leaving though? Because my thing is, at this rate, I'm like, you know, I'm still gonna go. I'm still gonna have a good time. Like, I'm not gonna be a party pooper wreck. So I'm not gonna do that. It was like, girl, like, I mean, her attitude changed. Like, she completely like went 360. Like, I mean, real life rude. Like,
girl, what the fuck is wrong with you? I talked to Tom Jerry, like, what the fuck is wrong with her? Like, she in my house, being rude to me, no.
I'm like, think about it. I didn't curse at her, call out her name, get loud. I just said my head was hurting, and I expressed my feelings that I did not want to go and meet up with a whole bunch of new people. Like, girl, no, I don't want to do that. So then, you know, Tom and Jerry are gonna agree with her because they're her friends. They're like, yeah, like she kind of being rude to you in your own house. That's kind of rude or whatever. And I'm like, girl, I'm not being rude. I'm far from rude. I'm just rude. Like, they're talking in the living room. I'm in the room, like, sleep. Whenever our ride is here, call me.
She's like, if you don't want to be here, you can leave.
I'm looking at her like, I never once I didn't want to be and hang out with y'all. I was just voicing my concern about meeting everybody and their mama at this place. I don't want to do that. That's all I said. Like, I'm happy to be here with y'all. Like, don't get me wrong, but I just don't want to meet new people. Like, I'm just not really in the mood for that. She's like I said before, if you don't be here, you can just leave. I'm like, one thing about me, you ain't gotta tell me twice to leave up out of your crib, because I'm gonna leave. I will never be nowhere I'm not wanted. I don't even get down like that. Like, I will leave gladly. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna leave then. What? Like, I don't need to be here. I do not need to be here. Like, give me a reason to stay home and be in my room, which I'm in right now. I will do it. I'm a loner. In real life, I'm a loner. So I'm like, oh, okay. Not even on the like,
Corvette.
I was like, okay, I'll leave. I'm telling you, I'm happy as ever. I'm like, you know what? I'm happy. I'm not even gonna sit up here and let these girls see me trip, see me sweat. I'm like, okay, I'm leaving. Boom. So I'm like, my stuff was still in her room or whatever. So I go back. I'm like, Mom, can you come get me? And then she's like, what happened? I'm like, I'll tell you later. Just come get me. She's like, I'm too far out. I can't come meet you right now. I said, I need to leave now. I ain't staying here another hour. So she's like, girl, just stick it out. Like, you're doing too much. Just hang out with her. And then she's like, I'm not gonna come get you. I was like, okay, well, you are no good of a help. So I'm like, you know what? My last option is my uncle. So I'm calling my uncle. He's not answering. So for some reason, I see stuff fiddling and stuff throwing and being pushed around. I'm like, hold on. I'm the only person in this mug that has 18.5 million bags. Where the 0.5? You know what? I had 18 bags, quote unquote. So I'm like, she could only be touching my stuff. I don't want to believe this girl has my stuff in her hand. So I'm like picking out the freaking bathroom. I'm like, what is that? You know, I can't see. So I'm like, what is that? Maybe my dear friend is helping me pack. I like that. Like, I was like, you actually are a good friend, helping me pack my stuff, as she should. I hear her like walk towards the door.
If you want to leave, you can just leave. Like,
I'm like, I don't want to believe she has my stuff in her hand. Unless you're putting it by the door so I can, like, when my ride gets here, I can just take it up and leave, then we're good. So I see Tom and Jerry. They're like, I'll turn to my right, and it's Stasia with my stuff in her hand, talking about some, you want to leave, right? You want to leave, right? I'm like, first of all, calm down, because you're on 10 and everyone's chilling right now. Number two, why am I stuff in your hand? Because I didn't want to believe this girl who I have been showing my loyalty to, been in a more above and beyond friend to, had my items in her hand to throw out her crib. No ma'am. But it was, she was like, you want to leave, right? You want to leave, right? I'm like, okay. I am leaving, calling my ride, put my stuff down. She's like, then leave. She takes my stuff, like, let me talk about something. Okay, this is the bag. She says, then leave, and throws my stuff. I'm talking about, she still had my white tees in her hand, my shoes, my bag. Didn't have the courage to put my stuff in my bag. She said, then leave then, and threw my stuff out of her house, out of her front door, on the ground, where people pissed and pee and spit. I'm like, it's right. I'm in shock. I'm like, girl, you really threw my stuff? I've been like, I would never do that to, and not even like a 5+ year friendship. No, anybody. I would never do that to somebody. Never. Just like, really throw somebody at your crib? Are you serious? Are you dumb? I'm like, first of all, what is wrong with you? Pick my stuff up. Girl, she didn't even pick it up. I had to pick my own stuff up, bro. I was like, what is wrong with you? Some people might say, you should have beat her ass. Think about it. I don't fight. I'm like, sure, I don't fight. I have older siblings. I'm the youngest of 6. What do I look like fighting? I have people for that. No. I don't do that. I'm like, girl, I'm not gonna fight. My thing is, even in even despite like the anger and like the betrayal I felt, I couldn't even bring myself to even curse her out or fight her, because it's just like, I still had so much love for her. I was like, girl, I still love you. And it's sad. Like, it's sad how someone could hurt you so bad, but you still got so much love for them. So boom, I'm like, you know what, girl, I ain't even finna deal with you right now. I was like, are you kidding me? Like, this is really, in my mind, I'm like, if my stuff hits that ground, this friendship is over, period. Like, I'm not holding on no more. I'm not forcing nothing no more. Like, I'm done. Like, you're done. It's clipped. Like, it's quiet for her, for real. She keeps on saying, leave. I'm like, girl, I'm gonna leave. Trust me. Like, I will never be at your crib again, ever. This is the last time I'll ever be here. Answer the phone. I'm like, come get me. Like, this girl is crazy. She threw my things out of her house. I was like, okay, I'm on my way. So I get home, go up to my room, start crying. Like, I'm just upset because first of all, my clothes are on the floor, and then I have to cut off a 5+ year friendship that I really held dear to my heart. But after, my thing is, I was like, during that time, I was like, you know, maybe I can forgive her because, you know, we've been friends for so long, and maybe I'll get an apology tomorrow. I woke up the next day, no apology. 2 weeks, no apology. A month, no apology. 5 months, no apology. I'm like, yeah, you obviously are like insane and you think that this is a game. So I was like, you know what, this is done. So like, I was seeing in the hallways. We went to the same elementary, middle, and high school together. After that, I'm talking about, like, it's crazy how you can, like, someone you're so close with, like, you can go from like, hey girl, oh my god, bestie, to like, who was that again? Like, I don't know, you know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't get an apology till a year or some change after. I was like, girl, at this rate, it's too late. Like, what? And she was like, you know, I want to work on a friendship. Like, I want to hang out again. And I'm like, yeah, like, let's do it. Let's get it. But in my mind, I'm like, I will never. You get what I'm saying? Like, and I was just like, my friendship, I'm too good of a friend. I am too loyal to have my friendship be just like play with. Like, my love and my friendship is definitely like, I am that friend that you would want on your team. And I'm not, and that's why I'm not like everybody friend like that, because I know that my loyalty is different. I'm a different type of loyal. And I was like, you don't deserve that, so I'm not gonna give it to you. So she's like, yeah, let's hang out. Like, after her apology, which was a year and some change, I was just like, let's hang out. Like, I want to restart. I'm like, yeah, sure, girl. And I'm like, I will never hang out with you again. You get what I'm saying? And from that point on, it was kind of quiet for us. Like, we wouldn't talk. Ryan would be like, hey, Sazia. It would just be me walking to class. I'll see her later. Like, I would see her in the hallways, wouldn't speak to her. It was just kind of sad. It was like, wow, like, girl, like, me and you went through so much. It's just like, damn, we don't even speak. We don't even call anymore. Shoot it all anymore. Nah, nah, anymore. But yeah, y'all, after that, it was really clipped. It was quiet for us. Like, we literally have not talked since then. Like, we're still cool. Like, we have our snaps or whatever, but like, talking, oh, hey, how you been? Like, none of that. And it's just sad. Like, that day I had to really like realize, okay, you know what, CO, you're too good of a friend. You have this bomb friend, Andrea, right here. Put your energy and your time into her and keep it pushing. You get what I'm saying? You know, everything, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes friendships don't last always, you know? All good things will come to an end. And, you know, we were changing, we were growing, and like, we were becoming polar opposites. And it was kind of like everything was being forced. So I was like, you know what? Perfect timing. You know what I'm saying? Perfect timing to cut her off and not have no, like, you know, bad blood. But yeah, years progressed and we like have never been the same ever since then. But yeah, y'all, that's story time about the time I got thrown out somebody's house. But that would be the last time I ever get my items thrown out somebody's house and I just sit there and just start crying or be in shock. No, hands will be thrown. But y'all, that's my story time. But long story short, y'all, moral of the story, do not stay in any situation that is no longer meant for you. Like, if the relationship is falling, crumbling, break up, split. And my thing is, it can be just regular, like, respectable type time. Like, you know what? It can be a grown woman type thing, like grown woman type stuff. Like, you know, me and you are not really, like, you know, clicking anymore. Like, I think we should split up, and it'd be that. Like, it should never have to be beef or we finna fight. Like, no. Don't stay in situations because of how long y'all been friends, the time, all that. Just dead it. Like, for real. Take it from me. Like, I'm the type of person where I ain't staying nowhere I don't want to be. I'm not holding on to nothing. If you let go, I'm letting go. If you ask Sadiddy, I'm asking Sadiddy. Like, I'm on the type of time you're on. Or I'm just gonna cut you off, period. Give me a reason to block somebody. Give me a reason to cut you off. I will. That's one less human I gotta deal with on this earth. But yeah, thank y'all so much for watching. If you got this far, I fuck with you. If you got this far, I love you so much. I love you dearly. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. So much for watching. I love you guys so freaking much. Hope you guys enjoyed this kind of slight, but yet, like, interesting story time. Peace, love, and what? Prosperity to you all. I'm out. Bye, guys.